hard to believe, but new government figures out tonight show nearly 2,000 children have been separated from their parents at the U.S.-Mexican border from mid-April through the end of May. CNN's Ed Lavandera was at the scene as Border Patrol agents added to that number.
It's hard to see people moving through the thick South Texas vegetation. The Rio Grande rolls by just beyond the tree line. And then, just like that, they appear out of the brush. A small group of undocumented immigrants walking into a public park.
We just came across this group of undocumented immigrants here in the town of Mission, Texas. 2 adults, 4 children just finished crossing the Rio Grande here a little while ago, and now they're in the custody of Border Patrol.
This group is actually made up of 3 different groups. They say they met along the journey from Honduras and decided to enter the United States together. Border Patrol agents give them water, and they sit in the shade as they wait for a vehicle to take them to a Border Patrol station. There's Jonathan Ariel, 11 years old. He says he left Honduras with cousins, but they abandoned him along the way. He says his mother lives in Virginia and told him not to make this journey alone, but now he's here. I told her I wanted to come, he says, but she said it's very dangerous.
¿Tiene miedo? Are you scared?
A little, he says. It's a brief conversation that leaves you with many more questions about how a young boy can get to this point. As an unaccompanied minor, he will likely end up for the time being in a children's shelter like this one, as federal authorities try to connect the boy with his mother. The rest of this group is made up of 2 adult women with their children. Dalia Sayupa is 24 years old, and she crossed the border with her little boy.
Dalia, ¿por qué vino? Why did you come?
She says gang members left a note at her home threatening to kill her, and that's when she decided to flee.
¿Tienes miedo que te van a separar de su hijo? Are you afraid they're going to separate you from your son?
Sí, mucho miedo. Es mi hijo.
Yes, he's my son, and I love him, she says. I have carried him throughout my journey. Dalia says she did not know that she might be separated from her son once she was taken into custody in the United States. But she says, I have nothing in Honduras. The families are loaded up and taken away, unsure of what happens next.
And Wolf was able to speak with Jonathan's mother. He gave me her phone number in Virginia. I spoke with her. She told me a little while ago that she's already spoken with him and that federal authorities told her that they would speak with her tomorrow to figure out what is next. What is unclear is the other parts of this group, the 2 adult women with their children, and what happens to them is not exactly clear. Even though the Trump administration has talked about this being a zero-tolerance policy, not everyone is being separated from their children. But federal officials that we spoke with today won't say exactly how that is, how those decisions are determined here at this point, why some people are being prosecuted and separated from their children, while others are not. Wolf?
Let's hope those kids can stay with their moms. So sad. Ed Lavandera, thank you very much. Meantime, the federal government has chosen a small town in South Texas as the newest location for a temporary shelter to house at least some of the unaccompanied children of those undocumented immigrant parents. Tonight, CNN's Tonight 360's Gary Tuckman is on the scene for us. And Gary, you're over there. Describe what you've seen today.
Well, Wolf, this is a very small town, Tornillo, Texas, and this is the port of entry in this small town. Behind this 6-foot chain link fence, behind this 6-foot granite wall, and behind this 10-foot barbed wire fence, there are up to 300 children who've moved in since yesterday. The government is not telling us how many children are here. They are saying there are children here, but the state representative for this district says 98 children came yesterday. 200 children have come today. You can see in the background a big white tent-like structure. The government won't concern that's where they will not comment to us about if that's where they're living, but we are seeing video from a different vantage point which shows the children outside playing outside that tent-like structure. The government has said they were going to build a structure that was semi-permanent, that had steel siding, that had very strong plastic ceiling and ground, and we believe that's the structure where the children are living. Now, we are told at this point that everybody is healthy, but right now it is 95 degrees outside here. We are told there's air conditioning inside, but there's certainly a lot of concern in this community about those children because of the high temperatures here and because of the remoteness of this area. I just want to show you very quick, Wolf, this is the desert. We're in the middle of nowhere. There's only 1,500 people who live in this town. The population has increased by 20% with these 300 children who've arrived.